perfect vacation you've been planning for months. The sun, the beaches, the adventure awaits. But then, out of nowhere, a stern-faced security officer taps you on the shoulder and says those dreaded words, "Sir, we need to see your bag. Your innocent power bank that's charged your phone 1,000 times. It's now considered a dangerous explosive device. Your high-tech smart suitcase that cost you $500? Completely banned and confiscated. That harmless jar of organic peanut butter you packed for your kids? Sorry, that's getting tossed in the trash. Welcome to the absolute madness. That is 2025, where airline rules have become so ridiculous and unpredictable that even seasoned travelers are getting caught off guard every single day. Hey there, fellow travel warriors and adventure seekers. Welcome back to Passport Max, your ultimate travel survival guide and the only channel you need to navigate this crazy world of modern aviation. I'm your host, and I've been tracking these insane rule changes so you don't have to suffer through them blindly. If this is your first time joining our amazing community of smart travelers, do me a huge favor right now. Smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell like your vacation depends on it, because honestly, it just might. Today's video isn't just entertainment. It could literally be the difference between a smooth, stress-free trip and a complete airport disaster that ruins your entire vacation before it even begins. Power bank panic section. All right, guys, buckle up because what I'm about to reveal will absolutely blow your mind and probably make you check your luggage right now. On January 28, 2025, an Airbus A320 flight from Barcelona to Paris experienced what aviation experts are calling the most terrifying power bank incident in commercial flight history. A seemingly innocent power bank, one that had passed through security checks without any issues, suddenly caught fire at 35,000 feet above the Mediterranean Sea. The flames spread rapidly, filling the cabin with toxic smoke, and the pilots had no choice but to make an emergency descent and evacuation. 150 passengers had to slide down those emergency chutes, and several people were hospitalized for smoke inhalation. This single incident changed everything, and now airlines worldwide are treating power banks like they're carrying nuclear materials. The new rules are absolutely insane. Power banks over 160 watt-hours, which translates to about 32,000 milliamp hours, are now completely banned from both carry-on and checked luggage. We're talking about a total prohibition. These devices are treated exactly like explosives or weapons. Even if you bought them legally, even if they worked perfectly for years, they're now aviation contraband. For power banks between 100 and 160 watt-hours, roughly 20,000 to 32,000 milliamp hours, you now need explicit written approval from your airline before you even step foot in the airport. This means calling customer service, waiting on hold for hours, getting documentation, and praying they approve your specific model and brand. And here's the kicker. Power banks under 100 watt-hours can only go in your carry-on luggage, never in checked bags, because if they catch fire in the cargo hold, there's absolutely no way for the crew to respond quickly enough to prevent a catastrophic disaster. Smart suitcases. Nightmare. Now let's talk about those trendy smart suitcases that were supposed to make our lives easier. Remember when we all thought these were the coolest invention ever? Built-in GPS tracking, USB charging ports, digital weight displays, even some with built-in scales and Bluetooth connectivity. Well, congratulations, because these technological marvels have now become the airline industry's most hated enemy. If your smart suitcase contains a non-removable lithium battery, and most of the popular models do, you're looking at a complete ban from virtually every major airline in the world. We're not talking about restrictions or special procedures. We're talking about absolute prohibition. I've personally witnessed travelers at Frankfurt Airport being forced to abandon $700 smart suitcases because the batteries couldn't be removed. Imagine spending your hard-earned money on what you thought was the perfect travel companion, only to have airport security tell you it's basically a fire hazard with wheels. The problem is that when lithium batteries malfunction at altitude, they don't just smoke a little. They can create intense fires that are incredibly difficult to extinguish in the confined space of an aircraft. Airlines have decided that no amount of convenience is worth risking the lives of hundreds of passengers, and honestly, I can't blame them after seeing the footage from that Barcelona incident. Liquid rules absolute chaos. Here's where things get so ridiculous that you'll think I'm making this up, but I promise you, this is all completely real. The United Kingdom, supposedly one of the most organized countries in the world, has created the most confusing liquid policy disaster in aviation history. In early 2024, British airports proudly announced they were installing revolutionary new CT scanners that could analyze larger liquid containers, effectively ending the dreaded 100-milliliter limit that we've all been suffering through since 2006. Travelers were ecstatic. Finally, we could bring normal-sized shampoo bottles and water containers without playing Tetris with tiny travel bottles. But then, in a move that shocked absolutely everyone in the travel industry, 6 major UK airports, including London City, Aberdeen, Newcastle, and others, suddenly reinstated the old 311 rule in mid-2024. Why? Apparently, the new scanners weren't as foolproof as promised, and security concerns forced them to backtrack completely. So now, depending on which UK airport you're flying through, you might be able to bring large liquids, or you might have to follow the old rules, or you might encounter something completely different that they invented that morning. It's like playing Russian roulette with your toiletries. And why does this archaic 100-milliliter rule even exist? Back in August 2006, British intelligence agencies uncovered a terrifying terrorist plot where extremists planned to disguise liquid explosives inside innocent-looking soft drink bottles and detonate them simultaneously on multiple flights from the UK to the United States and Canada. The plan was sophisticated and nearly undetectable with the screening technology available at the time. The plot was thankfully foiled, but the emergency response created the liquid restrictions we still live with today, 19 years later. Every time you're forced to throw away your expensive face cream or that bottle of water you forgot about, remember that it's because of a very real threat that almost changed aviation history forever. Budget airline fee explosion. If you thought budget airlines couldn't get any more creative with their fee structures, 2025 is about to prove you spectacularly wrong. Airlines like Ryanair, EasyJet, Wizz Air, and others have turned baggage fees into an art form of passenger exploitation. That carry-on bag that used to be included in your ticket price? Kiss it goodbye, because it's now an additional 20 to 50 euros per flight, and sometimes even more depending on your route and how badly they want to squeeze every penny out of you. What exactly qualifies as a free personal item under these new draconian rules? We're talking about bags so small they barely qualify as purses, tiny laptop sleeves, minuscule backpacks that couldn't fit a weekend's worth of clothes, and handbags so restrictive that you'll struggle to fit your passport, phone, and wallet inside. Anything larger, anything that resembles actual luggage, will trigger additional fees that can easily double or triple the cost of your supposedly cheap flight. Air Canada has taken this fee madness to a whole new level with their basic economy disaster. Starting January 3, 2025, basic economy passengers get exactly one small personal item for free. That's it. Want to bring an actual carry-on suitcase? That'll be $35 extra, thank you very much. Want to choose where you sit, instead of being randomly assigned to the middle seat between two strangers? Pay up! Want to sit next to your spouse or travel companion? Hope you brought your credit card. These fees add up so quickly that by the time you've paid for basic human dignity, like choosing your seat and bringing a normal amount of luggage, You could have booked a regular economy ticket on a real airline for nearly the same price, but with infinitely better service and far less stress. Banned items that defy logic. Prepare yourself for the most absurd list of prohibited items that will make you question whether airport security has completely lost touch with reality. Mercury thermometers are banned because mercury is legitimately toxic and can create hazardous material emergencies if the glass breaks. So that one actually makes sense. But tent stakes? Apparently these innocent camping accessories are now classified as potential weapons because they're pointed and could theoretically be used to harm someone. I guess they've never seen what you can do with a ballpoint pen. But whatever. Toy weapons of any kind, even those bright orange plastic guns that obviously couldn't harm a fly, are getting confiscated because security officers might mistake them for real weapons. Baseball bats, hockey sticks, lacrosse equipment, and golf clubs are all banned from carry-on luggage because they're considered potential blunt force weapons. I suppose they're worried about passengers starting impromptu sporting events at 30,000 feet. Large containers of powders, including baby formula, protein powder, baking ingredients, and even cosmetic powders, are subject to intense scrutiny because they could theoretically be used to hide explosive materials. But here's my favorite story that perfectly illustrates how crazy things have gotten. A professional baker from Denver was recently detained for over 2 hours because she was traveling with a bag of specialty flour for a cooking demonstration in New York. The TSA agents were convinced that her organic, artisanal baking flour was some kind of suspicious substance. She had to provide documentation, submit to additional screening, and nearly missed her connecting flight, all because she wanted to make bread. In 2025, apparently even cookies can be considered a security threat. Survival guide and final advice. Here's your comprehensive Passport Max survival strategy for navigating the insanity of 2025 airline travel. First and most importantly, never assume that yesterday's rules apply today. Airline policies are changing faster than social media trends, and what was perfectly acceptable last week might get you detained this week. Always check your specific airline's current baggage policies, restrictions, and fee structures before you even start packing. Second, verify your power bank specifications immediately. Don't guess, don't assume, actually measure and document the watt-hour rating because your vacation could depend on it. Third, download your airline's official mobile app and enable notifications for real-time policy updates because these changes are happening without warning and often without proper communication to passengers. Fourth, embrace the minimalist packing philosophy. The less stuff you bring, the fewer opportunities there are for something to go wrong, get confiscated, or trigger additional fees. And finally, subscribe to Passport Max and hit that notification bell because I'm dedicated to tracking these insane changes so you don't have to learn about them the hard way at the airport, closing, and engagement. The brutal truth is that airline rules in 2025 are evolving faster than anyone can reasonably keep up with, and what was perfectly legal yesterday could land you in serious trouble tomorrow. Your homework assignment is simple but crucial. Screenshot this information. Check your power bank specifications right now. Measure your carry-on luggage with an actual ruler, and subscribe to Passport Max for weekly updates that could save your next trip from disaster. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What's the weirdest, most ridiculous thing airport security has ever confiscated from you? I read every single comment personally and often feature the best stories in future videos because your experiences help other travelers avoid the same mistakes. If this video helped you avoid a potential travel disaster, smash that like button, subscribe to Passport Max, and share this information with anyone who travels because, trust me, they'll thank you when they're not stuck buying emergency luggage at inflated airport prices. Next week, I'm revealing the secret loopholes and strategies that experienced travelers use to legally bypass these ridiculous restrictions. So make sure you're subscribed because you definitely won't want to miss those insider tips. Remember, in this crazy world of modern aviation, knowledge isn't just power. It's literally the difference between a smooth, enjoyable trip and an expensive, stressful nightmare. Stay smart, travel smarter, and I'll see you in the next Passport Max adventure.